Hello and welcome, welcome back. Sorry about what happened just now. Um, can you see me okay? Okay, all right. Because I'm not getting any, I cannot see me on the screen on my phone here. I'm seeing it on the laptop, but I'm not seeing me on the screen. I don't know what is happening. One second. Just bear with me. I'm coming. I think this is it now. Yes. Okay. Yes, I think it's working now. Yes, hello, hello again. Welcome. Everything is okay out there? Hi, Mandy's Trend. Thanks for joining me. Good afternoon. Um, I don't know where you're calling from, but it's afternoon for me. I have to say good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good morning. Okay, so today I haven't eaten yet, and I decided that I wanted to go to some restaurant and get some food for my late lunch that I'm going to be having. So I went to this restaurant. It's called Poya Tropical, and I got myself some chicken, nice juicy chicken, and I'm going to show you what I have. And it's pretty reasonable because, like, for all of this, you get like, I don't know, can you see? Yes, it's grilled chicken and it's really healthy, really good. And that's why a lot of people like going there. It is packed, especially on the weekends. It's always full over there. So I got like four quarters, like two breasts, and then I have the thigh and the leg. Yes. And if you buy the four quarters like the family meal, you'll get like, I think it will come up to about, it start from $13.99 and up. But if you order additional stuff, of course it's going to be, more money. So I also have some salad here that I'm going to be eating, Caesar salad that I'm going to be having. And I got myself some soup here, and this is really the chicken soup. I don't know if you can see it, but it's not the type of chicken soup that I would prepare. It has some pieces of chicken in there and some, I guess, like potatoes and carrots and stuff. But in Jamaica, we have a lot of stuff that we put in our chicken soup, noodles and all of that. And also I have some rice. I got myself some rice here. They serve brown rice as well, but I told them that I wanted brown rice, but of course, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, but they gave me, and this is the size that you get, that it comes with a family meal. So I got the rice, and also I got some beans as well. I love the beans. It tastes so delicious. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm a beans person. I love to eat beans. And this is what it looks like. Then they gave us some bread. You get the bread rolls, the regular bread rolls. So I'm just gonna take out one. And it's soft and nice, So I'm going to take out a piece of the chicken. I hope you have lunch. Hello, how are you? Yes, I hope you have lunch already. So, they serve it with a plastic fork, but I can't use a plastic fork, so I'm gonna eat this. And excuse me if I eat with my hand because, hey, eat the chicken the best way. And I'm gonna get some rice. I don't know if you can see in my plate, I wanted to see what I'm having. Want some more rice. And this can serve for like a family of 4, you know. So then I'm gonna get some of my beans. Guys, can you see? Let me take out the fork. The beans look so delicious. Yes. And then I have curry mustard too, or honey mustard curry, whatever they call it. I'm going to show it to you in a while. Let's just put this over here. And this is the honey curry mustard, which is good. See it? Yeah. So I'm just going to put it. You can put it on the chicken as well as the rice and bean. Give it a nice flavor. Oh yes, it tastes so good. So I'm just going to use all of this. Yes. Yeah, now we're cooking here. I love this. This is so delicious. On a day when you just don't feel like you want to prepare anything, the best thing is the Pollo Tropical. And this is a restaurant that they have the food chain down here in Florida. I think the headquarters is in Doral, in Miami here. Doral, a place called Doral. Yeah, let me just use the knife to kind of cut it up. Yeah. And I can't wait. This is so good. Let me put a little bit of the sauce, see what it looks like. Can you see? Yeah. It's nice and soft. This one is really nice and soft. Really tastes good. I love it. Now, you have to take time and eat this. It's not dry. It's moist. Yeah. Hi, Adrian. How are you? Here having late lunch. And I'm having your Pollo Tropical chicken. Let me show you what I have in my plate. I have some black beans and rice, a roll, and some grilled chicken with some honey mustard. And of course, I have my salad, Caesar salad, and also some soup. This is a chicken soup that I'm going to be having. So, yeah, so what's going on in you guys' neck of the woods? You know, how is the day going? I'm just enjoying this, you know, while I talk to you. And as I was saying that, you know, it's really cheap. You know, for a family of 4, you can get this meal for $13.99. But mine was a little bit expensive because I went and I bought additional stuff like the Caesar salad. When you buy the stuff like that, it's a little bit more expensive. So, Oh, you are cooking stew peas? Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Yes, so this more tastes like stew peas. That's why I like to eat it. Yep. Very nice. And you know, excuse me if I'm going to be, because I have to use my hand at times. Because I love my bone, you know, I like to chew up on my bone, but when I get to the bone yet, it tastes so good. And you know, when you're hungry, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have some water here. I'm gonna drink with, you know, for quench my thirst, wet my whistle, so to speak. I wanted to get a one of those shakes that they have like a mango, strawberry, banana shake, but I totally forgot. I left out of there, and yeah, it was a bit full because man, I went on the road, and I'm telling you, today is like, because everything kind of more likely open up down here, the road is full. I mean, the restaurant wasn't that bad. I mean, compared to like when it's in, full swing, but it was pretty crowded. But you have to social distance. Everybody has to stand 6 feet. But I got through quick today. I didn't have to wait long. So yeah, but I wanted to get that mango juice. But it's when I drive off, I remember, so rotted. I never get the mango juice because that is good. But this is so good that you can just go and buy food when you want to. Because as you can see, my back in the days, may I tell you, you would have loved to get something like this. Things rough back home, man. In the days when I was growing up, it was nice, but food wise, we were more like the control with the food. But like on a Sunday, you have special days when we would have special food that we cook. Sunday was the best day. Everybody loved the Sunday because we have like 2 meals on a Sunday. You get a nice breakfast, which breakfast is served like probably about 10 o'clock. And that breakfast would consist of like probably ackee and saltfish and dumpling or liver and bananas. They have mackerel or saltfish and callaloo, which I never used to like the callaloo business at all, but you have to eat what you get. And then your family would be in the kitchen, whoever cooking, it would be like the whole day to prepare the food. So from breakfast, you start off with your dinner because dinner is served early, like probably about 3 o'clock. Everybody get them dinner. So you start, the marinate the food from overnight. Mostly we have chicken and rice and peas with a nice salad, on Sundays, and we have a nice juice too. Chicken tastes good. Chicken I got on well, I tell you. And with this sauce here, not sure the sauce again. Tastes good. Anytime you guys come to Florida, check out the Pollo Tropical. They're not paid me to do this but I just showing you. All right, maybe one day they'll pay me, right? Anyway, as I was saying, hold on, let me taste this. Tastes good. Let me just enjoy it as I go along. Let me take off my glasses too. Food tastes sweet. So as I was saying now, yeah man, on Sundays, after you have your breakfast, now the big breakfast that you get, dinner time we start prepare food now. So them spend all day in the kitchen trying to prepare this nice meal. Rice and peas, which is a must. You don't cook white rice on Sundays. We don't want a white rice on Sundays. That is for in the week. And we have a stew, escovitch, brown stew, right? Chicken or whatever. But we have that, and then we have our salad that they make. Soursop juice, carrot juice, or we have beaten carrot or lemonade or any type of juice. But that is what we, would have on Sundays. And then after now, we have dinner about 3 o'clock. So 2 meals. And then about 6 o'clock now, we used to have the fudge man would come around. Now, the fudge man now, he used to have a little bike. I'm come around the neighborhood. You used to hear him all the way down the street. Now, like a foghorn thing, like beep, 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 beep. So all the kids then would run out, man, because you know you get a little money and you go buy a little fudge. Have a thing called Nutty Buddy. It's a like an ice cream thing. That was good to eat too. I went a nice little size ice cream, like about this size here. Individual size that you would get. And you have sometimes you see the peanut man would come around too. Fresh peanut roasting into the whatever they have there, and it have a little sound going. You hear it whistling. You stay very far away, and you hear it whistling. Food, good. Let me taste the roll. Roll is always nice and soft too. But I'm not really a roll person from over there. So yeah, I'm going to eat it though. Normally you get 4 in there. Let me drink some water. Hold on. Food sweet, man. I'm put on back my glasses because my blinders are bad. I can't see a thing. So I have to read the glasses. Yes, man. So, wait. Let me get my, look after my Caesar salad. Now I'm going to eat that. Yeah. Put on a little bit of dressing. So I tell you now, on the Sunday, we have the ice cream now. And that is it for the day. But your belly full, you know. So maybe in the night before you go to bed, maybe you probably might get a little snack. But that's what we used to get. Now, on the Monday, anywhere you there, you at work or you come home from school, you know, so we have food because we have our leftovers. So the whole day you're thinking about the leftovers that you're coming home to eat. And leftovers food, any ever have leftovers food, man, tell you, woo, that is the bomb because all the season and everything's in the salad here. Everything is all marinated and it just tastes nice. So all you're working or you at school or what, all you want to do is come home, come eat. But you know, you can't just come home and run into the refrigerator and warm up your food like how you do here as a child. You have to wait until you're being served. The adults have to eat first before you eat. Kids now, I'm not saying back home, you know, in those days. You can be seen, but not be heard. So, come home. You have your leftovers, which is good. And then now, that's Monday. On Tuesday, we eat something a little bit more. Maybe you get probably ackee and saltfish, or you get callaloo and rice with maybe some saltfish in there, or mackerel, banana. Something can stretch, you know. So everybody can get a little bit. But I tell you something too. I remember the days when, I was a kid, and you have your food there, and them serve your food now and in your plate. I take this up here, I can't bother, I just tear it apart. Yes, this is how you eat it. Tastes good to see. Tastes so good. This is like part of the neck. I love that part. So on Tuesday, as I say, you get maybe ackee and saltfish or rundown or some other stuff with mackerel or shad or something. But hold on, let me tear up this here. I love my bone. Hold on. Tastes good. I have to throw up all the bone and everything. Nice, man. Yeah. So as I was saying now, let me taste some of the soup here. On Tuesday now, that's what we would have. But I tell you something, as a kid growing up, the soup is good. Not like how I would prepare it. You have plantain, piece of plantain. You have pieces of chicken. And let me see what else is this. Yeah, like some soft yam, like white yam. Yeah. And some carrots and, other little something inside here. But it tastes good. Can fill a gap, know? Yeah, this is good. So when you get your dinner now, normally like if you get meat, we normally used to eat off the meat first. You know why? If you come from a large family and you know that if you have a lot of people that pass by, because you have some people, they only show up when dinner time, when food time, you see them come around and you go, Lord, where she go now? Because say, any another person come, you're not going to get the same amount like what you normally get. So you're like, oh, where am I going now? Anyway, what we used to do as kids, when you get your dinner, you used to eat all the meat first. When you eat all the meat first now, anybody who come after, them now have nothing to forget. Because meat gone out their plate. Who wants sauce or rice? Nobody don't want a sauce or rice. So that's what we used to do, especially the food nice. And sometimes, like people work and things, your mother work or whatever. You come home and you're hungry, but you can't get a snack. Not like here. You have to wait until the food is cooked before you can get some food. So sometimes all late at night, you're just eating. But that is the way how it is back home in the days when I was growing up. These kids are fortunate. They can go in the fridge and they can take out whatever they want to eat at any time. Them come and a snack is there ready for them. We can't do that. You understand? So what we do now, on Wednesday, is maybe like us. We have stew peas and rice, and I used to love that. Most people in Jamaica, them love the stew peas and rice, and you make it with pig's tail. Some people don't eat pork, so, but I like it with that. My mother used to make it with pig's tail and put in salt beef in there and maybe another piece of beef or something, I know pig's tail stew peas can make with just about anything. Can put oxtail, but we never really buy oxtail to put in there. We just have like stew peas with the peas, enough peas, so it can stretch, the gravy can stretch and can serve a lot of people, So we have that. And then on Thursday is Ben Johnson Day. Meaning, you don't really have much. You take whatever you can get out of your pantry and you just throw it in a pot. So that's how it comes. You'll get what they call seasoned rice. 'Cause seasoned rice is whatever you can find in the pantry with some rice. It doesn't matter. Probably have like a ackee. You have like a cabbage, some carrots or whatever, and you just swing it together to make a nice little meal, you know? And that's why we call it seasoned rice. Now, on Fridays, like how we go to McDonald's and you can go to whatever restaurant you want. But dine out here, go to the restaurant, have fun. Not back home. The restaurant thing on us, that wasn't for us when we were growing up. Actually, tell you something. The first time I went to a restaurant was when I was a teenager. I was probably maybe about 16. And when I went to the restaurant, I think it was a Chinese restaurant. I was like, Lord, you're going and you're looking around. Your eye all over the place. The place looked nice and fancy. And you go, wow, this is life. And you want to know them serving food and you see all these people coming around, waitress and whatever, and you're looking at them because you never seen that before in all your life. You know? And look around and say, wow. And they come and put down the food on the table. And they have to eat with a knife and fork and you try to be prim and proper, you know. Because you're nervous. This is good. This is how I clean up my plate. Look at my plate. So, yeah, so on Friday now, we'll have something light, maybe some fried dumpling with some saltfish and probably some lemonade, or you have the canned mackerel or the tin mackerel, whatever you want to call it, what them call dirty gal. I didn't even know that is what it was called until when I came here a couple years ago. I realized that's what they call it. So would have that something light for dinner, you know, nothing fancy. And then on Saturday now, I never used to like Saturdays. I wasn't a soup person because, you know, by the time you drink the soup, you get hungry again. And then you're not going to really get anything much to eat after that. You get a big old bowl of soup, whether it's chicken foot soup, chicken soup, you have beef soup, gungo pea soup, red pea soup, whatever. I used to love red pea soup though. I used to love that. The soup that I didn't care for too much was like the beef soup. I don't know why, but no, I drink beef soup. But I love when it's gungo peas or red pea soup. That is good. Yeah, man. So, you know, so back again, the week start all over again. So like during the days now, like when I go to school, well, like in the country, I grew up in the country. I left Kingston when I was like about 7, going on 8. So I was living like in the outskirts of Kingston, which they wouldn't call it. In those days, it was country to me because you know why? When I went to live in Spanish Town, it was like I got a self shock, so to speak, because you know the culture was different. It's not like in Kingston where you have electric light, you see the light and you know cars on the nice road, and you know the shops are close by. you know, you get running water and, all of that goodies. When I went to live in a country, it was the opposite of all of that. So being as a child and coming out of the city and going into that, you know, that culture, it was totally, I couldn't function for a while. It was very depressing for me because then you don't have indoor toilet, you have to go outside. Um, Running water, you don't have any running water inside the house, so you have to go down the street in the district. Every district had like a little standpipe. That's what I call a standpipe, where you go and you catch your water and you would take it home. And you have a drum pan that you'd fill it up, and that's what you would use to bake, cook, whatever, that sort of thing. I used to hate it. But not long after, then we got light. And then as for electricity, oh God, we never had that. The place was pitch black. Nighttime, by 6 o'clock, especially like in the winter, when everything gets dark, yeah, I didn't like it. I'm talking about no television. Yeah, my mom had a little transistor radio. Hi, Miss Baby Daughter. Good afternoon. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, man, I'm here talking about back in the days. So you don't really get the news per se. You don't hear much. You see, the country folks, and everybody know everybody business. You go outside, and if them see you doing anything, it's like they're ready to go run and tell your mother, say, so and so me see so and so do. And then in those days, I don't need anymore. This is it. Stuff. Let me put this aside. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, man. And in the days, you see, what they used to do, people could just catch you and just beat you like that, and then you never dare go home and say nothing. Yeah, that was horrible. Because if they see you doing something and it's like, they feel like, okay, you be disrespectful. If you ever go answer them anyway, or if, like, for instance, say, yes, ma'am, or whatever, they go, what you say, little girl? What you say? And want to put some licks under your tail. And then after that, now they would go home and, find a yard and go say, oh, you'll disrespect them. And then your mother would beat you on top of that. So you dare not say nothing. Oh, yes. And I think that was horrible in those days. But try that nowadays. That won't work now. No. But yeah. And then mother would come and then she like beat you first. And then when you get your licks now and it cool off, and then you try to explain yourself now, she go, then why you never tell me so it go? But I said, but I was trying to tell you, but you wasn't listening. You just get me and just take me and whoop me behind before you listen to what I'm saying. So, those things were kind of, but even although we grew up like that, we learned to have respect. It's not like these kids nowadays that, most of them, I can say, they kind of, they're not disciplined the way how we were brought up. And that is a big issue, but I guess modern society, that's how it is. Another thing again, you think you could dare get up in the morning as soon as you wake up and, well, we never have computer, but anything at all. You think you could dare talk about you're going to play before you even try to go wash up the dishes them? Wash up the dishes and you better sweep out the house and do your chores and before you can do all of those stuff. Because sometimes you would love to, like on a Saturday morning or when you're not going to school. And even so, in the country, when people kids have to go to school, But they couldn't just go to school like that. They would have to do their chores before going to school. They have to either probably go tie out the goat or feed the goat or the cows or wash up the dishes or sweep out the house. And then on top of that, I never really experienced it, but I know my cousins and other people that I know, they have done it. Like, when they were growing up, they have to walk like all 2, 3 miles to school. And, I've no have no shoes. I had shoes going to school, but I've seen, other country kids them, and just wash their foot bottom clean, and them have on them khaki using uniform, because those days the government used to provide uniform for the kids them if you go to like primary school and stuff. I went to a prep school, so that was a little bit different. But I remember, I see my cousins them, they used to have on the like a khaki or then what you call the tunic, whether sometimes they wear black, not black, blue, like a navy color blue, white blouse underneath, or brown, or whatever color it was, whichever school they represent, that's how they used to, wear it. But anyway, they used to walk to school after they do all the chores, and then sometimes they have to come back home to have lunch, because the mothers are poor, they can't afford to give them any money. They don't have any money to give them for lunch. Or maybe they come back home and they eat like a piece of bread and drink some water. And yeah, of course, in the country you have like lime trees, so they'll go and pick a few limes, and if you have like a sugar, you just go make some sugar and water, what you call it. And when it's lemonade now, is when you put the lime in there. That's your lemonade drink. I remember saying I have no fridge back home, but the water that they have like in the country when they have it in the big drum pan was cool. So that would, be all right. And then they would have probably a piece of dry bread, not any butter or anything on top of it, just the regular dry bread. And that was lunch. And then they would have to go back to school, go back to school. And then when school finished, then they have to walk on back home. And then you can't go say you're going to be doing homework that time. You have to go do your chores before you can actually, say you're going to have some time for yourself. So by the time you finish, it's late. And it's not like you have libraries that are close by. You don't have phones that you can ask for help, somebody to help you with your homework or what. You have to figure it out. Yeah, the rich people, of course, they used to have, tutors coming for their kids. But hey, in the country, you don't really have that sort of, lifestyle. So you find that the kids them in the country, or the poorer class of people, it was difficult for them, because I personally I can tell you about that, because like exam time, you get a lot of schoolwork to do, but you don't have any resource to go and get the information that you need. So it's like you tell yourself that, oh God, to be honest with you, I wasn't good in math. Honestly, I hated math. And I used to, I used to cry when I had to do math. Oh man, that was a big challenge for me. And you know what I used to do? I'm not gonna lie to you, because when I come home and I see the math problem them and I can't figure them out. I go, Jesus, I know I'm going to get a whooping for it. I used to go to a Catholic school. I know I'm going to get some whooping. I don't know. I can't work out this problem. And because the teacher know that I wasn't good at math, I don't have anybody to ask, because it don't make any sense going to your mother and ask her, oh, mom, can you help me with this? She don't know. She don't know. She said, go to school. What me I send you go to school for? You feel learn. Teacher, me I pay teacher. You feel learn. But it's not so it go. So you go and you cry and you cry and cry and wonder, you said, Jesus, what am I going to do? So I know school used to start at 8:15. And what I used to do, because every morning we used to have to do our math problems. And as I said, I used to go to a Catholic school, so sometimes the nuns would teach us. So when I'm to go to school now, a class start at 8:20. Really, we're supposed to be in the classroom by, no lie, we're supposed to be in the classroom by 8:30. But the first bell rings at, I think it's 8 o'clock, and then the second one is at 8:05, and the third one is at 8:15. So everybody had to be in the line for devotion by 8:15. So according to the class that you are in, you have, say, kindergarten, A, B, you have grade 1 right up to grade 6. So we would go in the morning, they would inspect us, make sure that we used to wear like a straw hat and we used to have like a ribbon. I used to hate that crap, you know. And then we used to have the tunic that I forgot, I think it's blue, like a like light color blue tunic that I used to wear, and a white blouse underneath. And on Fridays, that was game day. So we would have sports day really. So we would wear white on Fridays. But anyway, for me now, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I can't do my homework and I don't know what I'm doing, English was no problem for me, any other subject, but the math, I couldn't do math. No matter how you teach me, all I know is two and two make four. That's all I know. Anyway, I don't know what I was doing when it comes to the math. So I decided that if I go to school early and I know she's gonna call on me. Sister is gonna call on me. I am one of the kids that she's gonna call on because she know I don't know how to do math. And what she'll do, she'll pick out a certain group of students that she know that they don't know what they're doing in math, and she'll just pick on that set of students every day. So, and then when you can't do your math problem, you go up to the board, and you start to tremble because you don't know what you're doing up there. You have no idea as to what is the first thing to start right. You don't know. And what I decided to do, I couldn't care less. I decided that I'm going to get a whooping from her anyway. So what I used to do every morning when I supposed to go to school for 8:15, well, really, you have to be in the classroom by 8:30. 8:30, 8:31 is considered late. So what I used to do, I used to just say, you know what, whether or not I'm going to get a whooping, so it no matter. I am going to be late. If I'm late, I'm going to get a whooping. If I don't do the math problem, I'm going to get a whooping. So I don't go in there until all 9 o'clock. She asked me where you're coming from. So she whooped me, but guess what? I get away because then all the problems, everybody else go up there and they will fiddle faddle with whatever with what I'm doing. And if them can't work out the problem, them get them whooping and them go and sit down. But I could not stand that humiliation. I couldn't take it. So I would get my whooping and I go sit down. So this is what I used to do, most of the time. So and you can't go home and tell your mother, say you're late, because then you're going to get another whooping. So you shut your mouth and you go on. But over the years, while going to school, basically that's how it was. It was very, very difficult because, as I said, it would be nice if you had somebody that could help you out, with your homework. But there's nobody. Sometimes we had paid tutor, but that is if you're wealthy and you can afford to pay, your parents can afford to pay somebody to assist you with your homework or whatever you have to do, then that would be a different story. But other than that, we never used to have any help. And living in the country again, the library was like far from home and you don't have any telephone. Of course, there was no computer nor nothing of the sort. So it was very difficult in those days, but you grow strong. You learn to stand on your own, and you learn from that. There's so much that it makes you be a better person, but when I went to high school now, it was a difference, when you start going to high school, you realize you don't get no more whoopers, no more whoopers. They talk to you like grown-ups now. So it was different in those days. Here, because I've asked other people, like, have you ever, people, your teacher or whatever, beat you in school? Or they said no, mm-mm. But I guess everything is different. Try that now, you know. Would you like to know that you have your kids sent into school and a teacher take a kid and whoop them behind? You'd be so mad, right? So, and then some of the kids, and you know what my mother used to tell my teacher? This is the hurtful part about it that I hated. She used to tell my teachers, oh, yes, yes, like she would say, yes, Miss Gremlin, don't spare a little behind. If you have to whoop her ass, go ahead and whoop her ass so she can learn better. Can you believe that? And it's like, when they start to whoop you behind now, your teacher would be like, oh yes, your mother said, I must whoop you behind. If you're not learning, she said, must whoop you behind. Man, I mean, and you can't say nothing to your mother because she feel that she's doing something good when she tells your teacher that. So it's like, oh man, that was horrible. How could you do that to your kid? You come home and you have your homework and you go, she see you crying and is like, I don't know how to work this math problem. And she go, I don't know how to do it either. And she gone somewhere else to do something else. And you're there and you stumble and you wonder, you put on the book and you look and you come back and you cry and you go and you try, but you're not getting it. You just say, boy, I might as well me just give up. I can't do it. But when I went to high school, it was a lot different. And I tell you the honest truth, I used to feel like I was dumb when I was going to school because of I wasn't a math person, and I feel like I wasn't getting anywhere with like math. But all the other subjects, them I was okay. The only other subject that I hated, not that I wasn't doing well in it, what we call civics back home. It's like more like current affairs with politics and all of that. Anybody that go way back, what civics is about the government and blah, blah, blah. So I wasn't interested in that sort of stuff. But other than that, I was fine. But when I went to high school now, um, I realized that it was totally different. And the teachers showed you more respect in the sense that you get more help and you feel like, oh, I can do this. And it's like, they compliment you on a lot of stuff that you never get the compliment before. And you tell yourself that wasn't so bad, because they used to like to compare you. And that is something that you should not do to a child. Growing up, like going to prep school, they compare you like this one is smarter than that one. Or they would have a different, if you're not doing too well, they would have the classes divide into like 3 sections or so. So you would have, let's say you're in grade 5, they would have grade 5A, which is, of course, the brilliant students, so to speak. Then you have 5B, which is the so. And of course, you would have C. So, or sometimes you go to D. And sometimes when you do that, I mean, it's like you telling the kid that is in C, D, whatever, is like, they're not good. Only A's are good. That's how they used to do it back home. And the punishment that we used to get is like, if you don't know certain things, that if they ask you, okay, I give you a story. We used to have spelling bees. We used to prepare for the spelling bee contest, and spelling bee was one of the biggest challenges back home. But I remember I used to have a hard time spelling the word Wednesday. Can you imagine Wednesday? I was like in third grade, but I couldn't spell the word Wednesday. I was a good speller, but I couldn't remember how to spell it. So it was my bad luck that day, that morning, when they called the time she going around, the teacher going around, and she asking everybody to spell Wednesday, but she gonna take out one person, one person that cannot spell Wednesday and tell them to go up to the board and you're gonna write the word, spell the word out. And everybody, like, they can't spell Wednesday. And it's like, come around now and it's my turn. I'm like this now, trembling. Oh God, it's my turn now. And she called on me and she like, how do you spell Wednesday? The word Wednesday. First, I don't even know because I start to stutter. I'm like, ooh, 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 ooh. So she said, come on, spell the word. And then I got so nervous. She said to me, go up to the board and you're gonna write that word Wednesday. You're gonna spell it. I know it starts with double and ED, but I couldn't spell the word. And she looked at me and she walk up and down and she walk up and down. And she have this big old thick ruler in her hand, you know, pacing the place. At the time you get all nervous and you go on the board and you're like, oh God, I can't do this. And then when you put, you don't know what other letter comes after the D. And she watching you and she going like this with the ruler. Come on, I'm waiting. And you look at her and you turn your face and the other kids them sitting and they're watching you. Everybody's nervous, you know, because you can call on them at any time too. And I'm there and I can't spell a word. And you know what she did? I never forgot. She let me. I stood up there the whole day. This was like about first period, which is about probably say 9 o'clock. She had me standing there from 9 until when school was finished. I didn't get a lunch break. No, she didn't allow me to get lunch break. And you know, another thing that teachers used to do for the punishment, corporal punishment. Who remember, I don't know if you remember when they used to send you to go stand up in the corner, you take one hand and hold your ear like this, and then you have to hold up one leg. So you're standing up like a darn flamingo. Anybody can relate to that? Oh, yes. Those were, man, when I look back now, I mean, you know, those things were abuse. Of course, it was abuse. I mean, try that now. And you see what happened. As a little kid growing up, and I remember I was like about 4, and my mom would take me to school because I've always gone to private schools. I don't drive, I'm a kid, I'm only 4 years old. My mom is responsible to take me to school. You know, I don't have no control over that. And sometimes my mom would run late because she would have to take the bus. So I remember one morning, she was late. We got there late. I was only 4 years old. And she dropped me off. And then all these little kids, all the kids were the ones that were late. Remind you, we don't have any control over it. You have to wait until your parents can take you to school. What she did, she dropped me off. And as soon as she dropped me off, we have like a detention area. Now, the detention area is outside. And you had to stand in the hot sun. You know, in the morning, the sun it's piping hot. For a 4-year-old, you know, 4-year-old. Stand up out there, and then you had to have your hands stretched out like this for 1 hour. 4 years old, 1 hour. And the nun would walk around with a ruler. And of course, they love to do this with a ruler, like a drill sergeant. And they will go down the aisle, whoever was late. Let's say you have 20 kids. They will go down each aisle and you have to have your arms stretched out like that for 1 hour. And if your little arm's going down like that, she will come and she will hit you on that arm and tell you, straighten up, straighten up. You know, I'm like, can you believe that? What people used to go through? That was horrible, 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 horrible. I never forgot. And I remember that same school, we used to have this teacher. She was big and strapping. She had this fearful look, you know. I remember her name, but I'm not gonna say it. She would come around when you see her walking down the corridor, you'll be like so fearful. You'll be like, you know, and you know, you just want to be on the good side, your teacher's good side. So I remember one time my teacher, she was nice, and she said, "Oh, I need a volunteer to go to the office to drop off some papers." And you know, all the kids them would be holding up their hands like me, miss. So of course, you know, I'm getting to the group, me, miss. So she said, "Okay, all right, you go to the office. Take these papers down to the office." So of course, you know, I'm there walking and I felt so proud. The teacher gave me a task to do and I'm fulfilling it. So I'm there going to the office. Guess what buck up on? Not a woman. I'm like, oh crap. So she's sitting behind the desk now, and I'm like, she know that I'm very fearful of her. I was like probably about 5. Yeah. And I remember there was a tray, but I didn't know what to do with the papers. So I handed the papers to her. And she goes, "Why are you handing me the papers? Put them over there." But I didn't know what she was talking about. So I like, I don't want to ask any questions. So I put it in the tray that is closest to her. And you know what she did? She had a ruler and she told me to make a fist like this. And she took the ruler and she knocked me on use the edge of the ruler, and she hit me with that ruler on the knuckles. That thing hurt. And she goes, "That's not the way how you put those things in. You put it in that tray over there." You know, I mean, how could you be so cruel to a child? You know, that was horrible, 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 horrible. But as I said, all of those stuff make you a stronger person. You know, you learn from those mistakes, and it wasn't a mistake, but it's like, you know, that should not have happened. And I think that's why when I became a mom, I became so very overprotective of my kid, because I know what it was like trying to, when I was going to school. It wasn't easy, you know, but you know, you just have to pick up the pieces. And I grew up by myself, so that makes matters even worse, you know. So, and then you can't go home, as I said, and tell your mom that, oh, the teacher spanked you, because she's gonna ask you. She's not gonna ask anything. She's gonna give you a whoop ass first, and then she asks question. You know, and you know, those things weren't right. And you look back now and you tell yourself that, wow, wow, you know, we're living in different time. Right? It's like these kids, they don't realize. They don't realize. And I don't know where some of you are from, but I can speak for my country. I mean, it's a nice place. I love it. I love it. You know, I wouldn't trade it for anywhere else, but that is the way how we were brought up. You know, you have to respect your elder. You know, you don't backtalk. Another thing is like, if, for instance, you have adults come to the house and you're a kid, you cannot be in their conversation. You have to go out in the back, because children were not supposed to be heard or seen. They're supposed to be in the back. So the only time that you can get like a gossip is when you kind of come close, like you see a little crack in the door, and you put your ears like this, And you hear say, so you don't know, so Miss Dorothy, our daughter pregnant. And you go, what? She pregnant? But you can't say nothing. You go, my God, you know, but that's the only way you could hear like a gossip. You don't hear grown-ups talking like, you know, around children are around. Mm-mm. They don't allow you to come around when they're talking. So, you know, all of that is like, but no, it is good you involve your kids because you want the kids to know what is really happening. And I think it makes the kids them more um, aware of whatever is happening. In Jamaica, yes, we grow up fast. In the sense, we take on a lot of responsibility. As a child, you have a lot of responsibility that your parents they're expecting you to fulfill certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember growing up, you have the kids that they used to go to the market, young kids. They start from 6, 7. You know, people just send the kids off to the market or to the store, the supermarket, or the shop, you know. Well, like in the country, we never really have the supermarket in the district, but we'll have like a shops that you would go to, you know. So that was you. Nobody would bother you. Not like now where you have your little 5-year-old and you can't even make the kid go in the front yard to play without somebody kidnapping that child. Everybody used to look out for everybody in those days, if you know what I mean, you know. And they see you doing something on the road there, you stop, your mother send you to the store, and what they call idling, like you might stop and chit chat with two friends or what. They say, your mother not send you if you go buy something. Why you not go buy the stuff and go home? I go tell your mother right now. And you're fearful now. You said, Lord of mercy, you run and go buy what you have to buy. And coming back, you're fretting. You said, Jesus, you'd say, Lord, I wonder if Miss Matthew did go and go tell mommy, say, Mom was talking when she sent me to go buy something. And, you know, when you come home and you hear your mother don't say nothing, you say, oh, you can say, I say, well, probably she never say nothing. But that's how it used to be, you know. We used to have, I mean, we have all good times, though, you know. We have fun because, like, when we were growing up, and it comes to like Christmas, Christmas is a very, I mean, is that everybody come together and we all love Christmas because Christmas is when you get a lot of goodies in the sense that you would get a toy, everybody would get one toy. You don't get like how these kids get like a dozen, 100 toys, whatever. Mm-mm. You only allowed one toy. And more likely, the girls would get a doll, and the boys would get like a truck, or they get a little play gun. We call it play gun, which is a toy gun, plastic, of course. And then that is your gift for the whole year. And then we would have you get like 2 new outfits because we have what you call, well, Christmas Day, you dress up in a nice dress, and then Boxing Day is the day after Christmas that British people know we don't work on that day. That is a holiday for us. In America, they don't celebrate Boxing Day, but we do. And that is fun time because the whole of that, let's say for the last 2 weeks of the year, nobody wants to do nothing. You know, it's all a festive, you know, everybody's in this festive spirit. And, you know, you see your parents going out to buy extra grocery, which like a bottle of soda. You never get a bottle of soda, a whole bottle of soda for yourself. You'll get maybe a third because if you have other kids there or even an adult, they would share that bottle of soda for like 3 or 4 even 4 or 5 people. Oh yeah. But everybody wanted to use to get the bottle to drink out of. You know why? Because when you have the bottle, you walk around like this and you show off and you're like, and all the other kids, them when them see, you know, them like, damn, you know, They feel like you get a whole. No, really and truly, only Christmas that we get one bottle of drink. Yes, one bottle of drink, because normally parents would buy like a crate. I think a crate of soda is like 24 would come into the crate, and would go out and would buy, they would buy that, and you watch it, because you can't wait for Christmas now to come, you can't get the soda to drink until Christmas, oh yes, you watch it, and you say, yes, one of them soda on my own. When we get my soda, I am going to make sure that I'm going to, you just sip on it. You don't want it to finish. You're going to make it last as long as it can last. And you know, so that when you're preparing Christmas night, we do a lot of cleaning up. The whole place is spick and span. Food is cooking, for Christmas. We do everything. It's not like here where here I don't really celebrate Christmas Eve per se. Christmas Day is when I celebrate. So if I don't work Christmas Christmas Eve, where a lot of people they don't want to work Christmas Eve, I don't mind working Christmas Eve, but I don't like to work on Christmas Day because it's a tradition for me that Christmas is the time when, like as a kid growing up, and you get your two dresses, man, Christmas morning, you dress up early and you go to Christmas market. I see Miss Joan B. Yes, Christmas market. Yeah, man. And we go take the bus and we go downtown. This was when I was living in Kingston. And parents or, older adult would take us downtown. Older cousin would take us downtown, King Street. And you have Christmas market, Coronation Market, where you go and you see little things. And, you have these little things, what they call them fifi, that you blow and you go, whee! Oh, that was so fun. And you used to have the starlights, yes, and the firecrackers, them, the little ones, and the big one, they used to call the thunderbolt, the little ones. And you have another little one, a little round one that you just slap it on the floor and you hear it go. It just light up. We call that chiboom. So during, like, we get up early now, go to the Christmas market. You see also all sorts of activities, everything going on. Then you come back, and then we'll go to church because this is like 5 o'clock in the morning. And then by 8 o'clock you would be back, and then we'll go to church, and then come back, and then church not long, and then we'll come back, and you can't wait for your Christmas dinner now, because Christmas dinner, may I tell you, the plate, the table is loaded with goodies. You see cake, you see pudding, you see rice and peas, you see curry goat, you see chicken, you see beef, oh man, salad, you see drink. Oh man, those were the days, I'm telling you. And you eat, and when you finish eat now, and in the afternoon now, you go to your next door neighbor. People will be coming and going. You go to your next door neighbor and they go, oh, you want some dinner? And you go over there, and you go ahead and you go get sorrel. Oh, that sorrel is to die for. Everybody make their sorrel a little bit different. And you go and eat, and then you go next another yard down the street, and everybody have food to offer you. It was so much fun, so much fun. Now, after Christmas Day now, then comes Boxing Day. Boxing Day is when Christmas Day is a bit quiet. We don't have like no like dance hall or what have you. It's more quiet for family, But the day after, which is Boxing Day, is when everything becomes alive. You hear the sound system, they have parties, all sort of stuff. You go on trips. You probably get to go to the beach, because another thing, a lot of people think that you come from an island and you're supposed to know how to swim. Well, tell you the honest truth, a lot of Jamaicans can't swim, and people would be like, "How you come from Jamaica and you can't swim?" But it's a truth. They said that's not true. You're supposed to know how to swim. In the country, yes, The country folks, them, yes, because of the rivers and stuff. If them are rivers, then we learn to swim. But yes, it's true. Jamaica is small. It's a nice sized island, and we have water, yes, island all around. But a lot of us live inland, and we don't get to visit the beach until maybe when we have like a holiday, like Boxing Day, Easter Monday, Independence, that type of, those are the days when our Labor Day or whatever, those are the time when we used to go to the beach. We take like busload of us, I would go what they call outing, our excursion. I will go to the beach and have fun. And if it's Easter, we carry bun and cheese and stuff like that. Yes, Oh yes, John B. Rice and peas chicken. Yeah, man, that's true. That's true. No, yes, eggnog too. Eggnog. Well, I never used to get a lot of eggnog. I don't remember getting any eggnog until when I came here. I don't remember my mom ever making the eggnog. But yeah, man. So we would have lots of fun, music, and as I said, we only have one gift, but that little gift was, and the two dresses that you get, those two dresses have to last you for the entire year. And another thing, as let me go back to the school days. Another thing with school, when you get a uniform, you get your tunic, right? The outer uniform, you wear the blouse underneath. When you get your school uniform, them big like this, like a big old tent. You know why? Because you're not getting no more. That is what you're going to get. You're going to wear those uniform, whether it's two uniform that you get or three. Some people can only afford two, or some people only have one. But I'm going to tell you something. The uniform, you get it once a year. And your shoes, Christmas, you get a pair of shoes. And for the beginning of the school year, you get a pair of shoes. So you get two pairs of shoes for the year. And the shoes that you get, they're going to be at least one or two size bigger than your foot. You know why? Because them now have no more money to go and buy no shoes, So you have to wear that for the entire year. So now, when you're going to school, you like a new uniform, but you just hate the fact that it's big. So as you're going along, it get smaller and smaller, or shorter and shorter. And if you don't mind, when you go to school, like for the year, the first part of the year, your uniform reach you all the way past your knee gone down. And when you're leaving, the uniform gone above your knee, if you know what I mean. Because you grow it out and it's tight. And the waist, it will probably reach you underneath your breast. I'm like, oh my goodness, but you're not getting a uniform until the next year. Hi, King M Channel. Hello. Welcome. Yes, so that's how it used to be. But yeah, so we'll get that one uniform or two, or maybe probably sometimes your parents can afford three. But what we would do, those people that didn't have access to getting like more than maybe two or one, what we would do, especially if it's a light color uniform, we would wash it. We would wash the uniform and put it behind. If you have a refrigerator, or if you don't have any refrigerator, you wash it and make sure you dry it. You make sure you wring it out properly, because you don't have any washing machine in those days where I used to live. We didn't have that was luxury. Yes, you do have washing machine, but not where I live in the country. And so you wash it and you make sure say it have to dry overnight. No, another thing with your socks. Sometimes you get like a pair of socks that you have to wear for the week, one pair of socks. You do the same thing to your socks. So when the socks is not dried properly, like in the morning, and you're rushing to go to school, you put it by the stove. You turn on the stove and you put the socks there and make it dry. And then the uniform goes behind the refrigerator. Those are for the people that have a refrigerator. So those days, a refrigerator, they used to have like a little grill on the back, and you could hang anything. You hang your blouse, and you hang your tunic behind you. So by morning, it dry. And again, the kids them, we used to take pride in our uniform, real pride. The girls them, when they go into school, we have the starch, the borax starch that we used to make from scratch. And you make the starch and you mix it up. And then you have to, the material for the uniform was like cotton, so it easy to get, crumble up or whatever. So what we used to do now, we used to, yeah, it's you wet the uniform, like we call it, sprinkle it with water, and then we would um, wrap it up, and then we let it kind of soak a little bit. It's not wet enough, but it's just like it kind of moist. So when you're ready to go iron your uniform now, and then you use the starch on it, then the uniform nice. And you have those of us used to wear pleated uniform. That was something else again. You have to make sure that your uniform is, the pleats are well in line, so when you walk, you turn, everything just move with you. And when you're sitting, you try to make sure, say, you have the pleats well formed, so you don't want to mess up your uniform. So this way, when you're coming back from school, your uniform nice and clean, and what, oh yes, and your shoes really clean up, and you look nice going to school. Those were the nights. We used to take pride in that sort of stuff, a lot of pride in that. I see nowadays kids don't even care. They just go to school, and they put on a pair of jeans and a midriff blouse, and they're gone. And but we couldn't wear those things in those days. Yes, yes, Joan B. Yes. Oh yes. You have to make sure that the pleat them stay good. Oh yes. And if those pleat ever get all messed up and crumble up, man, you feel like the whole world is just caving in on you. We never used to like that. You want to make sure that you look good to go to school, right? I remember those days. Yeah, man. So, and then I told you that we only get like one toy, but you know what? We used to improvise a lot. We kids, as kids, used to go and you make a little dolly house with not fancy doll house like what you see they come, and these companies have these nice nice big fancy house and doll houses and stuff. Nah. We go out and we have like two little piece of board, and you have a little piece of sheet, and you make up your little doll house, and you put some cloth on the ground, and probably you can get some, maybe some trash or something like tree leaf or so. You put it on the ground, on top of the ground, and then throw a sheet over it or a piece of cloth, and you call that's the bed, the dolly bed or whatever, and that's your dollhouse. And we had so much fun. We used to have so much fun, and the boys that used to play, they used to make their gigs or top or whatever you call it, the yo-yo. That was handmade. They used to use like the knife and carve those things out. So it was always not like how you see nowadays that you can go in the store and you buy those things. And then they used to have like a piece of hose that they would cut and make it into a circle, like make a circle out of it. And then they use a piece of stick with a piece of wire, and they attach the wire to the stick like a hook, and then they would use that and they would run down the street with it. Oh yes. Or they used to make trucks out of aluminum containers. Anywhere the aluminum containers were, they used to use that. So it was fun growing up. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed growing up. I mean, as I said, it makes you who you are. And you tend to have more respect for your elders, even although you feel like those days they abuse you tell yourself that it was abuse, because when you really look at it, yeah, you would call it abuse, now you'd call it abuse, but it made us who we are today. And that is one thing that I did not regret. Certain things I did not regret because, as I said, it makes you a better person. But, I mean, life is always good and you always have people, especially in your district. It's not like here where, for instance, daycares, we didn't have daycare. We have everybody looking out for everybody. All the adults in the neighborhood, they would look out for the kids. If the mom have to go to work or the father or whatever and they don't have anybody, grandmother, you know everybody look out for everybody. We don't have a nursing home where you send off your elderly to the nursing home or the kids to daycare or so, because you don't pay them with money, but you pay them with your love and just coming together and just being there. That is how we show our gratitude. Everybody look out for everybody. And Miss Joan, remember the butter boot, the butter shoes? Oh man, tell you something. I think that's an English. I think it's from England. That store, British. I think so. And when you wear those shoes in those days, because that was the in thing in Jamaica, where they would give you would get butter shoes to wear. And when you wear those shoes, man, tell you see when you don't break into the shoes yet and you wear it, oh man, you see stars. You see stars, I'm telling you. Anywhere you go, you're just dying to get back home because the shoes is it's so tight that you can hardly see. You just want to take them off, just throw them off and just run. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. But it was good. It was really good, growing up as a child in those days, or even a teenager, And I mean, like even to have a boyfriend or what? Mm-mm. You if you have a boyfriend, you have to hide and have that boyfriend. You can't just go out and say, "Mom, Dad, oh, here is Ronald." Introduce you. Ronald who? Oh no, you could not do that. You have to have Ronald outside and sneak and go see Ronald. You couldn't take Ronald home. You're crazy. Mm-mm. That did not work at all. Mm-mm. Yeah, man, you rub off your foot back. It's true. You get some blisters and stuff. It's true. That is a fact for true. Yeah, man. But those days, I'm telling you, never to come back. Never to come back. Yes, and then remember when we had a festival time, the early days, as I remember as a child. I remember I used to go to the arena, the stadium, where they would have the floats. Like at night, it would start like 8 o'clock with festival songs and yeah, the competition and whoever wins, you know it was so nice. It was so much fun in those days. You like, wow. You see all these when they had the floats with all these nice lights, and you see the girls and whoever the costumes, and they coming down parading. It was, man, it was like you think that you're in heaven in those days. And then everyone every year would have a different out style that we make. One year we had calico, another year we had like a tent dress. We had one year we had big sit jeans that we would wear. Everybody is seeing big sit jeans. Another year was plaid. Another time it was polka dot that we wear. Um, so many different things every year, and it was always, you look forward to that, you look forward to that time when you really would have fun, you know doing a lot of stuff. And that is also, I see, let me see, we would get um the day, festival day, Independence Day, but for the whole weekend we would get that weekend off. And also we normally celebrate the whole of Easter weekend, so we'd have Holy Thursday, we would knock off early. Or school wouldn't we wouldn't have any school Holy Thursday. I think school would dismiss from maybe the Wednesday or so. And then for the grown-ups now, Holy Thursday, they would leave work half a day. And then we have Good Friday, where you could drop a pin Good Friday and you don't hear it because that is our holy day, you know. Nobody cook anything. No fire is lit until after 12 on Good Friday. We eat bun and cheese. Um, we go to church, and that day is considered a very sacred day. We don't do much on Good Fridays. And then one thing I remember that we used to do is we used to get like crack an egg early in the morning, like before dawn, and then would throw it in a glass of water, and then put it out in the sun. So when the sun comes up, you would see it start to form something. And of course, you're going to believe all these folks. Some people say, oh, they see a coffin, that means that somebody's going to die, or they see a plane, that means they're going to travel, or they see a ship, or that they're going to be taking a trip somewhere, something. They tell you, oh, you don't see it. Yeah, see there, and everybody like, even you don't see it, go, yeah, true, I see it, true, you talk, yeah, man, I see it for real. And I'm telling you, it is amazing, because then you grow up to believe all of that. That is true. So when I first came here, because I used to not working on holidays. So when I first came here, on the first Good Friday, I had to work. I was like, why do I have to work? You're not supposed to work because it's a holiday. But I didn't know that, you're in a different place, different culture, and you just have to do what you have to do. So it was pretty, different. But man, and then on Easter Monday now is when everybody would go out and have fun. You go to the beach, you have bun and cheese, you have rice and peas. We cook a lot of fish, whether fry fish or sometimes salt fish, no meat. Just like here, a lot of people don't eat meat, you fast during that time, but fish is our priority, and you can't wait to have that bun and cheese to eat, man. That bun and cheese was something, whether yummy or you have HTB or I think Hannah's Bakery, and now I see like allspice and all of that, but those days, those were the bakery, HTB, and I think Yummy were the main two bakeries that we would get the buns from. And then, of course, our famous Tasty's cheese that we used to slap between that, and you eat that. And you'd eat bun and cheese from morning until night. It was, nobody never get tired of it, because, and the thing about it, I don't remember if people really did put on a lot of weight. I don't remember, because in those days we didn't used to drive a lot. Not a lot of people used to have cars to drive. So it's like either you take the bus, or if you live in the country, it's where you have a lot of hills. Where I used to live, we didn't have, because St. Catherine is flat. So you don't have any hill to, but you still had to walk, because you have to walk to go to the taxi stand, or it's not like here. People going to the supermarket, and I see people fighting and complaining because they're not parked right in front of the supermarket or right in front of the store. And I'm like, come on. And I'm talking, my people from Jamaica, people do that nowadays too. It's like they have assimilated so much that they forgot all those the time back in Jamaica when we had to walk. And I think walking is good, because so what if you have to walk maybe a couple steps to the supermarket? People, like, they get mad. Like, for instance, if there's a parking space and you not even realize somebody else probably was waiting for it, and you probably go into that parking space, they will kill you just to get that little parking space, because they don't want to walk that great distance. According to them, is great. But it's good because it keeps you fit. And, instead of just, because look at all the food that we eat here. Every time you go, you look in your refrigerator, you tend to want to eat something. Back in Jamaica, when I was growing up, sometimes you look in the refrigerator, you know what you see? Maybe some ice cube in the freezer and a bottle of water in the fridge, right? Nothing there. So here is like you open the refrigerator, you have grapes, you have apples, you have this, you have that, you have hamburger, blah blah, all of the yes, Purity Bakery. That's right, Purity Bakery. You know, all those stuff that you have. So you don't even know ice cream and all of that. Ice cream was a treat back home. As I said, that is only on Sundays you might get a little cup of ice cream. But other than that, we never used to get no ice cream. You know, we just have to take whatever we get. So, I mean, that's why, you know, people used to be, they used to be fit because we didn't really say exercise that go to the gym. We don't have no gym going to. You know, we just walk and some of us climb the hills or whatever. You live in a hilly place, you climb it up and down, and it's no big deal. You know, it's no big deal for you. It's part of your everyday lifestyle. You know, and as I said, kids used to. A lot of kids in the country they used to walk to school back and forth, come home for lunch, go back to for back to school, and that is a whole lot of exercise. You go, you probably tie out the goats or the cows or whatever, and you move around. These kids nowadays, they are inside and they don't even go outside to see the sunlight. You know, they wake up in the mornings and first thing that they do is grab their phone or grab their laptop, play a game or something. And the things that we as kids used to do, I don't see these young folks doing it now, you know, like learning how to do a little bit of laundry or even wash the dishes or help to clean the house or something. You know, they don't do those things anymore. You know, it's amazing when you look around and you see a kid get up and not even a, and another thing in the island, what we like to do, you never leave your house and you don't make up your bed. You always have to make up your bed because, as the old folks would say, and your mama would tell you, she say, make up your bed because you don't know what can happen to you and them have to bring you back home and you don't want them to bring you back to a house that the bed is not made. That is embarrassing. You understand? And another thing, she said, make sure you wear clean underwear when you're going out. Anytime you leave your house, wear clean underwear and make sure your underwear is in good condition because anything happen to you, you don't want to be embarrassed. And those are the things that, you know, you remember and you tell your kids the same thing too, you know. So it's all good. It's I mean, it's a different lifestyle and a different time that we live in now, and just everything is so different. Even as I remember, like even the festival that we used to have, August we have our Jamaican festival. In the days we used to have like street dance where everybody used to come together, and every so often you would see like at different locations they would have um, activities where they have like those big sound system and everybody would come out and we all unite and everybody dance and have fun and you have drinks and you eat, and you know when that is finished everybody go home, you know. But those were the good days, never to come back, you know, good old days. Yeah, you know, we just passed through, we're here, and you know we're just passing through, but it was fun while it lasted. Yes. Hi, MGM Cooking. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes. So, you know, I mean, that was amazing. You know, the days gone and never to come back. But I still like this time, to be honest with you, when you compare both of them are good and bad. Because, for instance, you know, I remember the days when, like, for instance, you have a toothache, and here you used to go to the clinic in Jamaica, and you have like a toothache, and you have dentists that would pull your tooth or your teeth or whatever, you know. But here, and it's, I don't think it's the same like here, because here, like, they take precaution about doing everything, you know. But in Jamaica, you know, people don't really take, I don't think they take pride like, you know, like how they will take pride in the healthcare system here. So that is another advantage here that you have, you know. But even so, the price, you know, it's not that expensive to go to the dentist or what. You pay a little money and you get your tooth extracted or whatever. But here is like everything costs money. You don't have insurance, then, you know, it's hard for you to live, you know, without the insurance here. Like I remember many years ago, I didn't have any dental insurance at the time, and I had a tooth that was giving me a problem, and I was supposed to get a crown for it. And I went to the dentist, and when I went, they asked me, how am I going to pay for it? Because I told them that, no, well, before I told them that I didn't have any insurance. I said, you know, they were all nice and everything. And the minute the receptionist asked me, do you have insurance? And I said, no. Her face like dropped. She like, okay, this is her. The attitude changed. Okay, so how are you gonna pay for it? And I think that is so, I mean, rude, because you never underestimate anybody, because you don't know what the other person can capable of doing. You know, you just come to me and ask me if I have insurance, and the minute I say that no, I don't have any insurance, it's like a different, you know, you just change all of a sudden. So she said, well, so I said, so how much is it? And she like, well, the crowning, because you're gonna have to get a crown and ta da da, this, that. She said that that's gonna cost $1,000. So I said, that's okay, I'll pay it. So she said, oh, well, I need to have the money up front first. I mean, like, you know. So I paid her, and as soon as I paid her the money, because I didn't know exactly how much it would cost, but I had an idea, you know. So I said, okay, I have the money, here it is. And when I told her that, her face just changed again. Oh, you know, then she started to talk to me good again. I'm like, wow, that is something else, you know. But back home, you know, you get a lot of assistance back home, but it's not the same as here. You know, the quality of care that you get at the hospital is totally different. But apart from that, you know, everything is nice. You know, unlike in the country, you never get hungry. You have all sort of fruit trees. You don't even have to ask any question. You see a mango tree over here. You see mangoes like crazy, especially every so often as one fruit is out of season, another one comes in. We have mangoes. You have all different type of mangoes. We have the Julie mango. Anybody can relate to the Julie mango. Oh, those are really prestige mangoes. East Indian mangoes. You have Bombay. You have Nelson. You have Robin. You have the Stringy, Blackie, Number 11. You have Sweetie mango. Which other mango? There are so many mangoes that you have back home. And as soon as the mango season is out, there's another fruit. You probably have June plum, you have Guineas, you have cherries, you have the red coat plum or the hog plum. There's also this other plum that they have. What's the name of it? It's coolie plum. Yes, it's like a light green color on the outside, and it has a brown seed inside with the it then the actual fruit that you eat, the plum is like white inside there. Yes, very, very nice. You have sweet cup. I don't know if you guys know what sweet cup is. I used to like eating that. It has that hard shell that is like it's round like an egg, and you have to use something to kind of cut it. You have to knock it on a stone or something to get out. Yeah, number 11 mango. That's true. Bombay. That's true. Yeah, so and it have like some sweet stuff inside, like some little seeds, and they're really sweet. Jamaica has, you have tamarind, you have nesberry. What else do I like? Sugar cane. Like, I mean, that is going out of style. You can't go hungry. Then you have, especially if you're in the country, you have the river. Most times you have a river because we have a lot of mountains back home, and you have the river that you can go to, and you can catch a fish or two, or some, what they call it, the crawfish, the janga. Those look like bigger, like larger shrimp or whatever. Then you have the fish them that you can catch, and you make up your stove, your fire by the riverside. You don't have to go with nothing. All you need probably is something to, like a little penknife or something, and you cut a banana leaf, and even that is your plate. You don't need nice fancy dish or whatever. You take a piece of stick, you wash it off, and you use it, and you stir your pot, and you cook your food. You have your boiled breadfruit. You see the breadfruit on the tree, whether you want to fry it or you want to roast it. You can just make up a fire right then and there, roast the breadfruit, peel it, and you eat it, with some fish or whatever. You really can be hungry in the country. They always say the country kids are more healthier than the kids that live in the city, because in the city you don't really get that amount of, you don't really see a lot of fruit. You have fruit trees, but everybody, that's their yard. They just can't just go into somebody's yard and pick off fruits like that without getting permission to do that. So back in the country, you go and you just pick anything that you see. You go, them say you go a bush, and you pick off stuff and you eat and you cook. And when you come home, you're not even hungry, because you have yam, you have cocoa, you have dashi, all those stuff. So you roast it, you probably have a little flour sometimes, and you make a little dough, you get a little dumpling, and you put it on the stove, not even stove, the wood fire with some, like you put it on top of something, and the dumpling, it roasts, and you eat a dumpling. And sometimes that is what people would eat for dinner, because they don't have a lot, so they probably might be able to get some roast yam, if they can, and if they have a piece of, they probably might not even have liquor flour, but just they have like maybe some cocoa and stuff like that. They can find where you call, they go to the ground and then get all of that provision, and then come home, and they make up the fire, and then they roast the yam and drink some water, and then go on to them bed. Those were the days. And somebody was telling me, because I did not know this, although I live in Jamaica for a good while. I lived there for the first 25, 26 years of my life. I lived there. But I was told that in the country, because I didn't know, they say, ask me, what is young smoke? And I'm like, what's that? I don't know what young smoke is. They go, you don't know what is young smoke? I said, no, I don't know. How you come from Jamaica and you don't know what young smoke is? I said, well, I never heard the term before, so tell me what it is. So I said, they say, if you grew up in a country, but where I live in, I live like on the outskirts of Kingston, which is not really country in depth. It's like 13 miles away from Kingston. So I never really lived in the country per se. But anyway, they said to me, oh, young smoke means that, like, for instance, when you're coming from school and you see the smoke like coming out of the chimney or whatever, or you see the smoke going up in the air. If the smoke is nice and black and it's just flowing good, that means dinner almost ready. I didn't know that. They say if you see the smoke now, like it go, it's like, it's like it you see it come up and then you see it go. They say, well, that means dinner not ready yet. Dinner just gonna go on from the fire. I say, I didn't know that. They say, yes, that's what you call young smoke. So anytime you see that, you go, man, not dinner for me right now. That means me go wait for dinner. But yeah, all those things, you learn as you go along, and there's so much to learn. I can tell you, I can sit here and tell you so much, growing up. I mean, it is fun. And another thing that I wanted to mention too, I don't know if anybody know of the Jankano. Jankano, yes, man, at Christmas time, they come around where they dress up in they play music and dance in the street. They call them you have the horse head, the pregnant woman, I think you have a policeman, you have the devil with the fork. Oh, those things were so scary looking. I used to be afraid of those things as a child. And then you hear them coming down the road and you hear everybody, all the excitement and to hike up things are like, oh yeah, them down the crossroads coming. You hear them coming. Oh, them soon come up here. And then you lick a heart going, budu, 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 budu. And you go, I hope they don't come this way. I hope they don't come this way. It was, but now, you're an adult and it's like nothing because I think they have that in Bahamas. Bahamas, they have what they call the Gumbe Festival, where they have the Junkanu, they dress up because here sometimes they have the Bahamians, they have the Gumbe Festival and they perform the dance, so the Junkanu perform the dance, which is so nice. No, I love to see that. I really enjoy watching it. But when I was growing up, I was so afraid. I never liked that. That's the only thing that I did not like about Christmas in those days because of the fact that, the Jankono would come around. But anything else, I loved it. It was fun growing up. Yes, it was awesome. I mean, there's so much that I can relate to. And as I go along in the future, I would love to, tell you more about our country. But it was it was really, really nice. I mean, it's different from here. It's like, as I said, here is where you live is like you don't see your neighbors. Your neighbors are I'm living where I live. I know my next door neighbor, but the one on like the left hand side of me. But sometimes I don't see them maybe for like all 2, 3 months. As for the neighbors that live in front of me, I don't know who live there. I see them going, but if I see them on the road, I can't tell you that those are my neighbor. Or in the backyard, I don't know those neighbors. I've never seen them. Honestly, I've never seen them. I hear them, but I've never seen them. But funny enough, the only time when you do see people like where you're living now is when something like a catastrophe, like you have a catastrophe or something happens, then you see everybody come together and everybody, try to unite to build back. If it's a hurricane, you see a neighbor down the street that you have never met. That person might be living there for 20 years. And it's like, hey, I'm John, what's your name? I'm your neighbor. I live down the street. Oh, I live in the neighborhood for 20 years. Oh, I've never seen it before. And everybody would come around that time and they would help. But as soon as everything gets back to normal again, it's not the same anymore. You might see somebody might pass in the car and they might wave, hi, and you're like, oh, hi. But that's about it. It's not the same, like in Jamaica, you have, let's say Miss Matty would prepare some dinner and she would say, oh, she would come back and she said, I cooked some stew peas or whatever and bake a pudding or something and I want to just drop off this and give it to you. And that's that sort of stuff. You don't see that here. I mean, very rare that you see like you live in a neighborhood that people come together and everybody know everybody. I might be wrong. I don't know, but I mean, since I've been living here, and I've heard other people have said the same thing, that they don't know the neighbors. Everybody's so different. It's like you don't know who is living next door, and it's true. And that is the thing that I miss with home, not being able to um, socialize more, with people. But because of this quarantine that we have, people tend to get a little bit closer to each other. Yes, you have your social distance. Yes, we understand that. But since people are at home now, I mean, today, yes, they're open back today. Most of the places are open back today. And I went out on the road and it was almost chaos. It's like the traffic start again. Everything is all kind of getting bombarded again. But I mean, like the past, say, 6 weeks, people tend to bond more with you. I mean, because they're home, families get to, spend quality time with each other. I mean, you have never seen that here. From I've been here, or a lot of people that born and raised here, said that they have never seen this, before, where people actually get to stay home and the whole family get to bond and all of that. Because it's like you go to work, the kids go to school, you come home late at night, whatever, depends, whatever type of job that you have. You're so busy, you have to cook dinner, kids have to do homework, or they have to go to piano practice, or they have to go to play some kind of sports, or some other activity that they have. Everybody's so busy doing this, doing that. Parents probably go to work, leave from work, go to school. By the time they get home, it's like it's like night, and the whole routine starts all over again the next day. Come on the weekend, they have house chores to do. It's crazy. It's like, and this goes on all the time. Even you don't, it's hard. You can't even sit down for a couple of minutes and chit chat with a friend or two, because there's so much to do. You have I mean, friends that you have not seen for years, and it's like it's so difficult to catch up with them, because both of you are not at the same time, because your work schedule might be different from your friend or your family's work schedule. So they, like, when you're at work, they're at home, vice versa. So it's hard to catch up with people that way. And you find that it is difficult, because then you tend to drift. You don't have that close bond anymore. You tend to drift. Even families that come here, I have a lot of families. A lot. My family is very big, very, very large. But coming here, everything just changed. It's not the same, because you have some live in Pennsylvania, New York, Miami, wherever, Chicago, all over. But because they're so far away, and everybody have their own different lifestyle, and the timing is not right, you find that it's so difficult to communicate with them. It's harder for you to bond with them. It's like they don't have time. People don't have time anymore. It's like different, just different. On the other hand, in Jamaica, you see your friends, you see your family, you see them a lot. It's not that you're not busy, but it's more relaxing. It's more on a stress-free level. People don't really work and like stressed out themselves, so to speak, back home, like how they do it here. Like if you have heavy rains back home, nobody wants to go to work. Nobody wants to go to work. Here, if you have snow, rain, whatever, you better get your behind to work, because you don't go to work, there's no food to put on the table, no money to buy the food. So if you know better, you have to work if you know what's good for you here. Back in Jamaica, little rain start to fall. Nobody wants to go outside. Everybody wants to stay home and cook, like probably some dumpling and saltfish, boiled dumpling or fried dumpling and saltfish or whatever they have, and sit down and eat and have a good time. Everything. I mean, we make like a festive, um it's entertaining for us back in Jamaica. It's like we don't really make a lot of stuff bother us, so to speak. People don't really, not like here. It's a different type of stress that we have. It's not the same like here. It's basically different. And it's really, really interested to know how things can change and how you can adapt to, you can assimilate to certain lifestyle. And sometimes it takes a long time for people to adjust to certain way of living. But, it's one of those things. You never, as you say, you never know how good something is until when you lose it. You come here and you always take things for granted when you're at home. Everything is like, oh yeah, you have the beaches there. As I say, you can just go and pick a fruit or two, especially if you live in the country. But here you cannot do that. You have to, or if you have your kids and you want somebody to take care of them, you don't have to pay any money because there's always a neighbors are there. You just leave the kid and everybody watch out for everybody. Here it doesn't work like that. You have to make sure that your you have to pay for that child or children if you want them to go to school or in a daycare. And it's so difficult sometimes because you have parents that have like two, three kids or even four kids, and the money that they have to pay for daycare, it's outrageous. They don't, might as well they stay home. Might as well one parent stay home while the other one, whoever is there, have the has a higher income, then it's best for them to go to work, because by the time you finish with daycare, it doesn't make any sense. You might not even be working enough to pay the daycare for all three or four kids. So you see a lot of parents nowadays, they find something that they can do from home, work from home, where they can also, not only they stay home, they can also supervise the kids. They can also help the kids to grow, they homeschool them, stuff like that. And a lot of people are doing that now, because I think it's very important that a child should have at least one parent, around, um, at least say 75% of the time, because it helps the kid to bond, and it also helps that child to, grow, and the family just come together. If it's even for a you know, short time, but it helps, and it is sad that you have a lot of people, all they do is just work, 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 work. They're never at home. They just come in, see the bed, lie in it for a couple hours, next morning get ready, gone again. It is so much. It is so difficult, so difficult. But yes, so that is the part that, yes, that I don't really like. But other than that, everything else is okay, and life is good. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up for today. I think I've said enough, and I only wanted to go for at least 1 hour, but I find myself just rattling off, and I I'm gonna just sign off, and maybe I probably might come again tomorrow, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe 10 o'clock. I was just trying to test out the lighting today to see how it works. So I think that it looks brighter today. So at least, that's better for me. So guys, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate the company. And don't forget, before you go, please to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. And, for those of you who have not yet subscribed, just go ahead and just subscribe to my channel, so see you in the future. Okay, maybe tomorrow I'll come back, but I don't know what time yet. Maybe lunchtime, about probably 12 tomorrow. I probably might be on 12 to probably 2. Okay, so take care, guys. Thank you for joining me.